I'm deciphering all of Stewie's emojis. I don't know what
Stewie
she's
come
doing.
here, it's going to be ridiculous, Stewie. I hit Stewie the other day, and I was like, yo, it would be an incredible dynasty in New York City. I don't think she's seen it yet, but.
Welcome back to the Etceteras. I'm your host, Eddie Gonzalez. As always, I'm joined by the second leading vote getter in the Eastern Conference.
Drop
As
the
of
spot.
now, you might be the captain by the time people see this.
Yeah.
You should be the captain. They took your idea. They ran with it.
The captain shit.
But like that idea you spitballed, and now it's real life. They're gonna pick on the court jerseys, all that stuff. Like, what was it like when you heard that? That was
More than anything, it just reassured me that they're listening to the Etceteras, which is the most important part of all of this, you know. But it should be fun, man. It feels like it's been new innovations for All-Star Weekend the last few years, so it should be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it.
So obviously you've been out since earlier this month, and I remember when I came to see you afterwards, my first thing I kind of told you was like, hey, you'll be able to take your time, All-Star break.
Yeah, more so than just the All-Star game. I just want to play games. I want to play as many games as possible, and I feel like the All-Star game is a part of the season, so I want to be a part of everything throughout the year, So I hate being injured. I hate not being out there with the guys. I hate not traveling. All that stuff means a lot to me. So that'll be a nice target point for me, I guess, is a few games before, get my legs up under me and then slide into the All-Star break in the ideal situation. Slide into the All-Star break, back healthy, back on the floor.
Yeah, I know, it's almost deja vu last year and even the year before, the January injury and the All-Star break and all that stuff. And, it's tough. You obviously don't want to miss any games. Obviously, we want to make the All-Star. But I do know that, immediately when it happened, both our reaction, we're not doctors, was like, oh, this is not as bad as last year. And I know that was a big relief for you.
Yeah, because I could barely walk out the arena last year when I did this on my left knee. So I just knew my movements were a little better this time. It didn't feel like it was anything worse than it was. The team doctors, team trainers, physicians, everybody was worried that how my knee turned, that the ACL could have been damaged. So they was worried about that, but everything was fine with that. I wasn't even worried about that. I didn't feel like I felt like it was similar to what I did last year, but they were saying a lot of players tear their ACL and they could keep playing on it. Rondo did it one game, they said, they referenced. Also, Zach Levine, I think, might have did it where they finished the game after tearing their ACLs in the first. So I was like, oh, shit, I got a little scared after that. But once everything was, MRI was clean and everything was cool, I was able to understand the injury a little bit more.
I like how the team is playing. I know it's not translating into wins every night, but I like what we're seeing. It's a lot of fight, a lot of depth. The guys doing a little bit more than they're accustomed to doing. One guy I want to talk about before we move on is Nic Claxton.
Yeah.
I think he might be the defensive player of the year. As of now, it's still early, but we're past the half point of the season. He's been incredible all year long. What have you seen from him from behind the scenes?
Just the focus, the attention to detail, wanting to be great, trying different things. What stood out to me is he changed his free throw routine. That takes a lot of guts to do mid-season, especially when you want to shoot better, you're struggling a bit, you're trying to find ways to get better, and I can appreciate that as a player. And that's what Nick's whole journey has been about, for real, is just grinding, beating the odds, showcasing and surprising people, So that consistency, though, is what I like as well, is that we expect that from him every night now. I'm not saying 25 and 12, but, great ball. That may lead to you having a big night. So, he's been playing great.
Yeah, they got a little trash talk going before the Sixers game, and he went out there and played an incredible game.
Montrzel? Come on, Montrzel. You was talking crazy. Montrzel is not like that. You enforcer as a basketball player, but you're not that guy. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Clax having a good year, bro. Come on, fam.
Yeah, he could
don't do that.
He could have kept it smooth and kept it pushing.
Yeah,
he
it was a
threw
little
the dart.
shade in that.
Yeah.
It was a little shade in that. And it was like, yeah, of course. Did you read the quote?
Yeah.
Like, of course Kyrie the head of the snake, bro. Just like Joel Embiid the head of the snake. But we're not going to forget about Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey and you and James. But come on, bro. Give somebody some credit, fam. It ain't that hard.
Yeah, look, Nick is a second-round guy. Spent stints in the G League. Actually was hurt a lot his rookie years, first 2 years, and just continue to improve. And like you said, I see the work he puts in, before games and around the team. And then, that's always my message to him when I talk to him. Is like, I just love seeing you out here grinding. You talk about all the time game speed, working out at game speed, and he does.
Yeah.
And like you said, emphasis on the free throw. And, he did a Euro step earlier this year, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't know.
And that's the thing we see behind the scenes. I mean, we see and pick up when we play the last few years. You got some skills, some touch that people don't usually get to see. I feel like his first 2 years he was just a screen and catch over the rim type guy, lob type guy. Now he's been able to, catch the bounce and finish with the hook shot and add some touch to it. So, it's about developing the game, man, and crafting your skill. And he's doing it every day. And he's starting to fall in love with that process. And like, let me get in the gym. Let me work on my free throws. Let me work on my hook shots. You know what I'm saying? So it's good when you see somebody start to understand. It's fun when you start to see somebody understand what it really means to be a pro.
I want to talk All-Stars a little bit before we move on, too, because along with Claxton, there's like a new guard of guys and people I'm happy to see that they're going to get in the game and they're getting their consideration. And, one guy I hope gets in, and maybe you have a guy too, but one guy I do hope that gets in is De'Aaron Fox, who we've talked about a little bit on the show before, but he's just incredible. 22 points a game, second best offense rating in the league for the team, and he's the ball handler there. Obviously, Sabonis as well, and leading clutch scorer in the league. Like, did you see this trajectory for De'Aaron all his time? And he was incredible in college, but
yeah, I felt like he had that talent to do this pretty easy. I felt like he was in that tier of point guards that can become all-stars. He's that gifted, But as far as the all-star, it's so tough, man. I mean, I wish I had the stats in front of me. I want to see how many guys averaging over 20 points a game in our league. And I feel like every team in the playoffs, that are in the playoff standings right now, could have two guys that maybe make the all-star team. Like Sacramento, Sabonis. You can say the same thing about Sabonis. Yeah. So I want to see guys like De'Aaron Fox and Shai Gilgeous, Halliburton, just the first timers, because that's always dope, man. It's good for fun for your families, fun for your friends. Like, to become an all-star in the NBA, man. No matter if it's one or how many Bron gonna be at 19, 18, that shit's still significant. It means something, So I'm looking forward to seeing who the first timers are.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of the guys. Tyrese Halliburton obviously is one. I know he's injured now, but I think he's pretty sure he's in. Jaylen Brown, I think he got in before as alternate. He'll probably get in normally this year.
He wasn't
I think he was an alternate last year, like an injury replacement. And then the other guy is Lauri Markkanen.
Lauri
has been incredible all year long. Yeah,
Lauri Markkanen. Yeah, he's been incredible.
What I love about Lauri is, we're so quick because of guys like you, guys like Luka, guys like LeBron. We're so quick to be like, oh, this is a finished product at 19. You know what I mean? This is your star already or you're not. And he's, this is his third team. He slowly worked his way into being, he's a monster. Legit 7 feet. He's puts muscle on. He's incredible.
He's the prototype big in the NBA, which you want every team would love to have. You can play him at center. He can shoot a three. He can dribble, and he's athletic. He's what you are looking for if you're looking at it, space for space and just that five man. So, I think he's deserved an all-star nod. I feel like also with it being in Utah, that'd be cool as well to see him at the hometown guy get the all-star nod. But he playing phenomenal ball. Utah playing some ball that we wasn't expecting from them this year. It felt like with them trading all their guys, they were just going to fall off a cliff. But West, when you got hungry players, they got a lot of those. And a hungry coaching staff and front office, and low expectations, it just stars align for them. And I think having a guy like Lauri in there shows that, they trending in the right direction.
My cheat code for you as the captain, if you are a captain, is pick Lauri. Let's get the refs. Let's get the crowd. Let's get all.
That would be a guy I would choose for sure.
Yeah, he seems like a you type of guy.
If I am the captain, which I don't want to be.
I think you're going first overall if you're not the captain.
I don't care if I go
Bron
first
or Giannis,
or
they're picking
15.
you one. I'm positive.
In fact, bring me off the bench. I want to feel it. I want to know what it feel like to come off the bench.
What are some of your favorite parts of the weekend and All Star? Like your first time, it had to have been.
Yeah,
you were probably soaking up every event you could. Now it's like, can I come Sunday afternoon?
Yeah. It's exhausting for sure. I mean, because you up all day on your feet all day, and you've been playing a long season. But just the embrace of the community, I think that was the dope part about it. My first one, just being amongst all the greats for one, and being labeled an All-Star, because it's levels when you go to All-Star weekend. My first 2 years, I knew I was in the rookie-sophomore game. I was not an All-Star. You know what I'm saying? My second year the same, and you see the All-Stars walking around the weekend and how celebrated they are. You want to be amongst that. You want what you do out on the floor to be represented with the best. You know what I'm saying? So it's an internal thing now for me, where it's like, it's good to keep adding to the catalog, and it's good to keep building the fellowship and the community of basketball players when we get around each other. That stuff is dope. And then obviously, all-star dunk contest and three-point contest probably my favorite part of it all.
Do you think we can bring the dunk contest back? Like, do we need the stars? Like, what is the fix for that? Like,
yeah, we need a Zion. We need a Ja. I think the stars need to come back and just add. Because it felt like it was stars in there every year when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
All the best players in the league, or guys I like, were in the All-Star game. We're in the dunk contest. No disrespect to the guys that are in there now. Shadon Sharp, we're going to put on the show.
Yeah, he's going to be amazing.
Who else is in it?
Mac McClung.
Mac McClung, that's crazy they doing that. Out the G League.
No shade to Mac McClung, but
no
it's
shade,
NBA dunk contest.
What are we doing?
Is how I felt.
And Mac is an outstanding athlete. But
I think he's been on the show, but
what are we doing?
Why don't we have 4 guys who are willing to
It used to be sacred to be a part of All-Star Weekend. Last year we had G Leaguers come in and playing in the rookie game. Now, what are we doing? So, yeah, but that's
there
a whole nother.
There should be some pride about it.
Yeah, it should be some accomplishment, like you achieved something, but that's a whole nother thing. But when it comes to the star players, truth of the matter is it'll be more eyes if Ja say I'm going to be in the dunk contest. I would want to see more. I'm be more excited to see Zion in the dunk contest.
They've yet to announce the entire field, and I think part of it is because they're probably still trying to get those.
Trying to get a guy, yeah.
And I think.
So for now, who is it? Mac, Shadon, who else?
There's one more person, and then Aaron Gordon said he would do it if he makes the team, and I think he's a dark horse to make the team anyway.
He actually might make the All-Star team, which I don't think
season.
He should, but they winning.
Yeah, he's been great this season. He's been an incredible defender for that team, and he's got a really great role. I know his numbers aren't gaudy, but I wouldn't be upset if he made the team.
I wouldn't be upset. I would, because gaudy numbers matter to me. I'm sorry.
Hey, I get it. I think there's more deserving guys ahead of him. You know what I mean?
But
if he makes it ahead of Anthony Davis,
a replacement player,
it wouldn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this yesterday, and I think Vince was the last guy that was super heralded, and we had to see him, and he actually did it. LeBron didn't do it. I think Derrick Rose didn't.
He didn't do it.
And then it's on
Russ didn't do it. Oh, Russ.
No, Russ didn't do it. John Wall did it, which was kind of dope.
John Wall did it.
But they did was weird that year.
The crazy thing.
Ja hasn't done it. Zion hasn't done it. We haven't seen those guys.
Russ, crazy story. I think Russ' first year, maybe, his rookie year, he had to, he wanted to be in the dunk contest. And it was, remember when Rudy Fernandez was in it?
Yeah.
I think they had to do a dunk off at practice for the fans to vote to see who they wanted to be in the last slot.
Everybody making videos. Yeah.
And Russ lost out to Rudy Fernandez.
We missed out.
But Rudy he had the European vote, and not too many people.
Rudy did well in the dunk contest too.
He did well, but Russell was doing some outrageous shit in practice. Yeah. So when he just a dunk contest, he was windmilling 360 women. He was doing some crazy stuff, just trying to convince him to be in it. But yeah, that was a crazy time. But he would have had an iconic dunk contest as well. So it's got to be all-star type guys in there or young, exciting players. You know what I'm saying?
You think it's a money thing? They got to make the pot big. You think it's like that simple, or is it just like, yo, guys just need to care about it?
That's really what it is. Just guys need to care and want to feel like the dunk contest means something to them. I understand at this point they're seeing everything. Like they don't want to.
I feel like Zach and Aaron, they almost broke it.
They broke it
because it was too good.
Yeah,
he did a 360 and a between the legs from the free throw line. Like you're not supposed to.
Was it the best dunk contest ever?
I think so. I think Zach is the best dunker ever, which is
dunk contest dunker ever, or just in game
dunk contest guy. I mean, look at the stuff
over Vince.
Look, Vince.
Yeah, Vince.
The honey pot is crazy.
That is still crazy to me. But the twin
that was
legs,
like the most
and the windmill
dunk
and the 360 windmill was crazy too.
You know, it was a great dunk. First off, that contest was amazing.
Incredible.
Steve Francis threw it off the backboard and put it in, and then he did
He did the T-Mac.
T-Mac did. He saw Steve Francis do, dip it down and he did it in 360.
Oh my! There was Jerry Stackhouse in that one too.
Jerry Stackhouse, I think he did between the legs, and I think he tried to do free throw or something like that. It was short, but great dunk contest.
Great dunk contest.
But looking back, if you just do off the bounce between the legs, now you're like 45.
You're not going to get. Yeah, you're not going to.
It's the advancement of the dunk contest.
Vince do it. Oh, man.
Do you agree with that? The 3-point contest is now the show. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either.
I don't agree with that.
Like you wouldn't feel right having a 3-point contest the last event of the night.
If that was the only event, we wouldn't tune in. We'd hear about it later. We'd be like, all right, cool.
And then they'll be complaining about, well, not enough of the best 3-point shooters in there. We need Steph. We need Clay. We need.
Those guys have done it though. That's a great point because. And compared to the dunk contest, those guys have all done it.
All the best shooters have done it.
Everybody who was like a great shooter.
Larry Bird, like all the greatest
Corver
shooters.
did it. Yeah. Like I think Jordan even did the 3-point.
Jordan did the 3-point?
He did it. But like you've done it like Kyrie's 1-1. Like, it's just like we need those guys to do it. I see people blaming LeBron. I don't know if it's LeBron's fault, but LeBron should have did it too.
He should have did it.
He absolutely should have. I bet he looks back and goes,
that was, yeah. Because that's just that moment would have just at this point in the career, looking back on LeBron's career, like you needed to see that as a part of the documentary.
Well, we're at LeBron. He's approaching this record. Probably gonna break it in the next week and a half here. I never thought we'd see somebody break that record. I really didn't think it would be LeBron.
Me either.
So where you're sitting at, and you're viewed as the greatest scorer, one of the greatest scorers, however we rank everybody. What does it mean to you to see that and to see Bron do it as well?
I mean, once you see Bron's career start off, it was pretty. Once I got into the league, let's put it that way, because he was already in there.
3 years?
4 years. Yeah. It was pretty easy to see that he was going to do this because he was still young. He averaged 20 points a game as a rookie, and it only went up each year after that. And every time it would be like LeBron's the first to score this amount of points, so first to do that, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like he had the time and he was already the talent for one, and it was just a matter of if he wanted to play that long. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he had the formula was right there. I didn't think he would want to play this long. That's the thing.
Yeah, I didn't
think he would want to play 20 years until he's 38 and feel like he want to play 25 years now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think he would. Because that's what it takes to beat those records is longevity, you know what I'm saying? So it was a surprise more that he wanted to play this long more so than him as a player breaking a record.
We talked about this the other night, a big scoring night, and we were saying that, the fact that he still is this good, he's averaging 29 points a game, he's top 10 scoring in the leagues. It's hard to overstate how insane it is that he's in his 20th year doing this. And I know there's advancements in science and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's not it. That's not it.
He's 38 years old.
Fuck them advancements in science.
And he could lead the league in scoring.
Yeah.
Like, when we were younger, we think about, older LeBron, what does he look like? Maybe he's like this slow center. No, he's still playing like LeBron.
Yo, because we all said that. Because a lot of people felt like, because that Bron's skills wasn't equal to his athleticism. But he ain't 9 threes the other night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's adapted his game to shooting a little bit more than when he did back earlier in his career. And he still got that youthful energy.
Yeah.
he popping around everywhere, diving over the fucking front row, like still taking off on people. Like at this, it's inspiring to see.
Yeah.
As a competitor, it's like, man, fuck that. I could do that shit too. But then it's like, damn, he's in year 20.
Yeah.
He's 38 years old. He goes through so much.
Yeah.
You know, off the floor as just a man in general, with family. He got so many responsibilities. Still love the game. Still getting up, playing back-to-backs and shit. Still playing 40 minutes. It's like, man, salute to that.
There looks like no signs of slowing up.
No, it doesn't.
He has 2 years left on his deal. People will still want him in this league after those 2 years. He wants to play with his son, and that's at least 2 years away. Like, it's like looking forward. We're not going to ever see – I don't think we'll ever see the – and it's no shade to Vince, but Vince played 22 years in those last few. It was like, you know, he wasn't going to play a lot. He was a shell of his own self. I don't know that we're ever going to see that LeBron. He'll probably leave before we do, but – I don't know how long it's going to take to get there either. Is it going to be 45 before it's like, okay, now he looks old? You know?
Yeah, I don't see LeBron playing that role.
Nah, I don't think he should either.
Like Vince played his last 6 years of his career. Like I just see him still doing this, still having aspirations to win the title, even at 45 years old, just like Brady. Like those two dudes to me have really changed how I look at my career. Because we look at it as, well, you play 14, 15 years in the league at 35, 36, now you go live the rest of your life. It's like, shit, deep down I love to play though. Yeah. Maybe I want to play a little longer. They defining this era of sports when it comes to longevity.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing, and you know, there's been plenty of conversation about how much money and time LeBron puts in his body. That's a testament to him and his hard work. Yeah. I don't think that's like some cheat. I don't think it's like some excuse. He still has to do it. He still has to be that committed and willing. You know what I mean?
We all invest millions into our body when you think about it. Mm-hmm. Like trainers, chefs, nutritionists. Every athlete is trying to find a way to maximize who he is. So it's like, just because it's LeBron, though, he's such a mega star, that story get blown up out of proportion. But he doing what every athlete is trying to do, use their resources to become better players. So
I think it's smart. I think he's gonna play with Bronny. I think that's a great story. And
it's lining up to be. I mean,
McDonald's All-American Bronny.
I mean, you looking at it like the Ken Griffey Jr. and Senior thing. It was just like you felt like you'll never see that shit again. It was hard to see, like to figure that you play long enough to see your son play in the league. You know? In baseball, you can kind of do that because you can play until you're in your 40s. It's not you're not heavily on your legs as much as you're playing basketball. So to do that in the game of ball, man, that's dope to see. We want to see. I'm excited for Bronny too because he got better. I watched a couple of his games. He got more athletic. He getting more confidence. So I want to see where he end up too.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. And look, it's a lot of pressure to be that guy, right?
To be
LeBron's son, same name, and all that shit. And the way he shoulders it, and it's impressive. I mean, he's still just 18, you know, and we've seen him since he was 2, 3. You know, and then I think, you know, it's easy to lose sight of somebody like that who is so visible and like that. Yeah. Like, it's still a kid. Yeah. You know, we just saw his prom pictures. Yeah, he's still a baby. It's impressive. Him, Bryce, all of the young fellas. I mean, LeBron just played Jabari. And he played his pops before, and it's like, you know, that's a lot of pressure to be that guy. And you know, I'm excited to see what happens with Bronny and LeBron as well. I think, you know, Luka basically said he'll never play long enough to break that record. I don't know that we're gonna. I think we'll eventually see shorter seasons, and I think we'll never see his record again.
Yeah, I think he's gonna really. By the time he's done, he's gonna be at what, about 41K? You think?
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's gonna be hard to break that. Luka is really, if you want to, you know, your trajectory of his career, he's the closest one to doing that at this point if he sticks on this path. You know, he started off averaging 20, then went up to the 30s, 28s. And he stayed like this consistently. I think he's the closest one to do it, but it's going to be hard, man.
You know, I get why Luka's like, I'm not playing 25 years like that, but it was interesting that he noticed and you know, seen how difficult that would be. One more hoop thing before we move on, because there's some other stuff I want to talk about, but Jonquel Jones, loose member of Liberty, they cooking some shit up over there.
They cooking.
I'm deciphering all of Stewie's emojis. I don't know what
Stewie
she's doing.
Come here, it's gonna be ridiculous. Stewie. I hit Stewie the other day, and I'm like, never do this. And I was like, yo, it would be an incredible dynasty in New York City if you came here. She ain't like, I don't think she's seen it yet, but.
When did you check it out?
Yo, but they cooking up. You get the MVP, former MVP. You got, I think, the 5th pick in the draft, and there's some good girls coming out.
Yeah.
You got Sabrina, obviously, and so yeah, they cooking, man. They doing their thing. They bringing the best talent to New York. If they win a chip here, it's gonna be Barclay's gonna be jumping. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Those games are fun. I went to a bunch
this
summer. Those games were really fun. Great fan base.
Good coach. They got good coach,
Yes.
good fan base. Brooklyn excited about having them. So yeah, adding her to the equation, and don't let us get Stewie.
What I love about the WNBA is the sense of community, and it exists in the NBA as well, but obviously it's a smaller league, smaller group, less teams, the whole nine. But there's a real sense of community when you go in there, and like a lot of familiar faces, and everybody's, for the league, for the sport, and trying to uplift it. And, Breanna Stewart, she's using her platform now to try to get these girls charter jets, which is crazy.
I would love to be a part of that some way. If anybody watching, like, I always felt that would add take the WNBA to the next level.
Yeah, and like, I think people don't understand how much that helps. Like, if you've ever had like a week of heavy traveling and just know how complicated it is to be in and out of airports and just
airport life is horrible.
And these girls are long leg, tall. They're it's
and they're catching the first flight out.
Yeah.
It's not like they had a game. They got to get up at 4 a.m. and catch the bus to go to the airport. Like, it's terrible, the conditions, and especially if they might miss a flight. Then
they had game, I think 2 years ago.
Sometimes they bus places. It's just
it's like it's crazy that this is a thing. I like that there's an uprising. I think Kyrie's spoken out about it. A lot of people spoken to Ja Morant.
Yeah, so I think it would be.
I think we'll get some traction here. Yeah. So, all right, Drake at the Apollo. You went both nights.
Yes.
Did it
you
live
came
up?
The second night.
Did it live up to your expectation?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we Drake stans.
Yeah.
So we gonna nitpick.
Yeah.
Everything. I wanted to hear different songs.
Yeah.
I loved all the songs he played, but I wanted to hear more of the joints I love, selfishly, the album cut joints, some of the joints that I love. But overall, man, damn, the energy in there was incredible from the start to the finish. I like how, intimate it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was pouring rain in the second night, and everybody was still there. It was like he set the city on fire with that one.
Yeah, it was I was watching Rory and Maul's pod earlier, and it was just like they made a comment, Rory did, about how it just consumed the entire city for the weekends. Wherever you went, whoever that's around the city, it's like, are you going to the show? Are you going to the show? I think there's rumors they may do stadiums. I don't know if they're doing stadiums this summer or not. I enjoy the small venue, but I almost feel like he was too big for that room. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, it was great. He brings out Dipset. He puts the bodega out there. But he's there's a point in there, there's headlines and a couple joints from that one, best I ever had. And it's he just has so many fucking
He got
hits.
So many hits.
It's
gosplaying. Those, you talking about those type of joints.
And it's they're bigger than that room, unfortunately. Yeah. And I don't think he needs to do stadiums, because when I went, last stadium show I went to was Beyonce, and it was a football-sized stage. And Drake isn't going to do all the things Beyonce do, nor should he.
It's not much of a production.
An arena is fine for him.
Are stadium shows that fun, though?
No, I don't think they are, especially if you're not. If you're on the field.
I went to a couple, and it's just I'd rather an more intimate setting than a stadium if I'm listening to one artist.
The way stadium shows are built is it's for people 300 feet away. So if you're way upstairs or if you're on the field, it's almost not a line for you. You know what I mean? And so it's a trip, and you really got to put on a show for that shit. The Weeknd did that, and it's a whole event. And I heard it was amazing. I missed it. But no, I think an arena is fine for Drake. I think, get a dope lineup. Sounds like him and 21 are going on tour.
Yeah, I like Drake in arenas for multiple nights. Yeah. New York for 5 nights in a row, LA for 4 or 5 nights, all the big cities for a couple nights. But do you think he can sell out a stadium?
Yeah, I think he can. I think, if they pick the right places. I mean, I don't want to diminish his value. We were talking about this the other day about him wearing Cameron's jackets and all that, and like so much chatter online about that. But I never hear Drake hate in person. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like he has real fan. I mean, you see it that night. Uzi killed it, by the way. I don't like that
Uzi
song.
destroyed
and he killed it.
He made me become more of a fan of that song.
Yeah, it was
destroyed it. Dipset. The first night, what I loved about Cam is how he let Jewels. Cam is one of the all-time greats. Cam let Jewels and Jim Jones perform. He didn't do Old Boy the first night.
Yeah.
He didn't do.
They did what they do. They did a Dipset anthem and they did another one. They did 3 different songs the next day.
But they did a couple Cam songs.
Yeah.
But the first night it was just Jewels, and Jewels did the dips. He did, I forget what song he had that came out, but it was solo.
Yeah.
And then
he did Ballin'.
And Cam just chilled in the back and had the mic, was hyping them up. And Dipset is Harlem. They are New York. They are hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it was only right to have them come out.
I couldn't believe people had issue with this. I couldn't. I
with a
understand
jacket
everything
and
Drake does is gonna get hated, but like you bring the Dipset out
in Harlem
on 125th Street in Harlem at the f***ing Apollo, and then Cam gives you his jacket as like love. You
look like a fifth member of Dipset.
How can you hate that? And then they're on stage thanking him with so much gratitude.
That's respect. I mean, that's respect for the history of the game. That's respect for, how you was brought up in them times you had with your friends listening to Dipset. Like, Drake really appreciates that time, those times, and those dudes were major parts of it, and he was able to bring it full circle like that. Like, how can you hate on that shit?
It's like I watch you and Dominique Wilkins is in the building. I don't know who the perfect comparison is.
That's the
But
same thing.
the love that you guys give to each other, it's real, it's genuine, it's appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I don't have to know.
You know how much of an asshole you'd be if you were just like, out of here, Nick. Yeah, like, come on, bro. Why are we hating on appreciating somebody? Like, this is weird. But anyway, it's buying for us chains and all that shit. Like, I don't know if it's a petty thing, but we all collect stupid shit, and we all have nostalgia.
That shit is fire.
Yeah, like
to see the old for real chain. Like, come on, bro. If they up, you not buying that?
Come on,
bro.
I would if I could buy a rock chain or a fucking OVO chain. I would.
I'm buying it,
and I'm wearing it. Out of here.
Stop. It's memorabilia.
So yeah, it was fun. One more music thing I want to talk about. This J. Cole song. You seen the story about this, right?
I love that.
He found the beat, gave it to the guy. Great song.
I love that whole story.
And it's just like, I hit you immediately because I appreciate the tone of hunger and him trying to find it. And I know you go through the same shit, and just the way he's able to put it into words was fire. No,
when you sent the song, I sat down and listened because you was like, I think you might have sent, like, it was just, he was spitting or you said
something like that.
Real shit or something you said underneath. And I was like, Cole usually on some real shit. Let me really listen. But he talked about how he feel about the game, just how he feel about approaching the game. And that's just, as an athlete, as anybody, shit, that's all you really thinking about is your approach and how you want to prepare for this shit. So for him to do it that way, to highlight a young, I don't even, like, come on, man, you just type in J. Cole type beat in the first one. You know how crazy that is for that producer?
I want to talk to Eve because the rumor is he does this a lot and they just keep him. But the fact that he did that and gave it to dude, and you go to the dude's IG, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, I forget, I don't want to say the wrong name. But it's like, yo, y'all know this is my fucking favorite rapper. If y'all know me, you know how big this is. And to give him the shine, and look, we know how important IP and content is, and to say, look, put it on your shit is like, it's just so dope for him. He's always doing shit like that. It doesn't surprise me at all.
I was actually blown away by that.
So I bring that up to say I've been listening to Mr. Morale, Big Steppers a lot because of you. You made me listen to it basically, and it just, then I was listening to a bunch of Cole, and I was just like, who's better? Who do we?
Oh, we're going back to this.
I don't want to make you choose without thinking about it, but like I don't know. and I feel like it's just written as like it's just clearly Kendrick. But
I used to say Kendrick. I used to say like clear cut Kendrick every time. But as I got more in tune with myself and what I like Cole is more my style of rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's an East Coast dude. He speak in the way I like to listen to rap. And Kendrick, fire too, but it's just different for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to, if I'm choosing, I'd choose Cole if I was making a choice, but I don't even want to have to make a choice between those two.
I think the thing, so, and we'll throw Drake in there as well, I think the thing for me when I try to measure them, I think Kendrick has the best album out of the three of them, like full stop. I think the Kid Mad City is just better than any of the albums the rest of them done, which isn't to say that they don't have classics, they don't have great albums.
That's interesting.
And so it's always like a weird trinket, right? It's just like if we were arguing basketball players, you say, well, X won 3 championships or whatever. But I think Kendrick's growth and Cole's growth, they mirror each other. And I'm aligned with you in that I relate to Cole more. Like, even just this song. Just the song and just like the hunger and, you know, we're on great places. And it's like, how do I feel like how I felt in 2012?
Yeah.
It's like, I got to fucking get off the couch.
Yeah.
And it just had me thinking. And it just, you know, the trailer of our show is like, we'll never do this. But I'm like, I gotta ask. I gotta do the.
We have to do this.
I don't think there's a right answer though.
It's never gonna be a right answer because tomorrow we might say fucking Kendrick.
And I'm reversing course on Mr. Morale, by the way. Like, I could not stop listening to the song of Blast and Count Me Out. Like, I've been playing this.
It's an intimate album. It makes you look in the mirror for sure. I enjoyed that album. And like if I go listen to the album today, I might call you back and say, nah, yo, Kendrick is it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the beauty of having these three greats in our era at this point. It's like they, regardless of them waiting 2, 3, 4 years to drop an album, every time they drop some shit, it's just like, damn, did they restore their spot as the best? And that's good for hip hop.
I like the thing I like about Cole, and I think I like about Kendrick as well is Cole, like he heard a lot of criticisms and just started attacking the challenges. I'm putting guests on. I'm letting other people do it. I'm doing features.
His pen really went to another level.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before I let you go, because I'm positive we went longer than we should have.
But we missed a few.
But we need to catch up.
Yeah.
Okay. Last time we talked, we were like, there's nothing to watch. We don't have no shows. BMF came back. You're locked. I know you're locked in with BMF.
I am.
Because I called Vernon and he sends me a picture. We'll watch the show. I'll call you back. It's like, all right. Are you rocking with it? Season 2.
Ooh. I like it. Obviously, I like the show.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, but it's a little slow. It's a little slow to start. I mean, I guess that's every season, right? I want to keep watching. I say that.
I don't like Lamar being back.
I don't like that either. I don't.
I like him as a character, and I get it, and I get why we need the villain, but like they should have just had him survive at the end of last season.
They dragged.
You know what I mean? They drug it out. I like the new cop. I like Michi. Like I know you know him. I met him at one of your games. Yeah. I like the job he does.
He killing it.
I like the car thing. The car driver
limousine,
thing. Yeah. Now they have like limousine ops. Like I like that.
Southwest T.
Yeah, like my thing with a show like BMF is like I know it's not gonna win an Emmy and it's not. I think it can make 500 episodes. I'd watch everyone. I love it.
It's already a hood classic.
I'm ready for Bel Air.
The story before the show came out was a classic.
Yeah, like
so now you're putting a visual to it. Yeah. Like we got to keep this going.
We need this. I love that Michi just it's the same tone in every scene. It's just cussing everybody out.
You really feel like you talking to Meech, you watching Meech at that time because he is a spitting image of his pops.
Bel Air's coming back. I'm excited for Bel Air. I know we were locked in.
Yeah, I got about, I want to say 4 more episodes in the first season to watch, but that was one of my favorite shows too.
Swagger's coming back.
I'm
excited about that as well.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I hate O'Shea. It's like
he's locked in, man. Yo, don't be bothering my guys. Let them lock in.
I hit him like, yo, we're ready. O'Shea was in fucking Star Wars. He's like
O'Shea doing this thing.
He's killing it. Shout out to my guy.
Shout out O'Shea, man.
But now we have shows. You have more time to watch shows now too. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But you'll be back soon. I can't wait to see you back on the court. We're not timeline. We're not.
Yeah.
Don't breaking news us. when you're ready.
When I'm ready.
That was always my thing. Is like, take your time and
you know it. You know, I've been through.
Just
it
want you to be right. But yeah, we got some other guest hosts on the way, and
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
I don't want to
there's some
expose
things that
nothing
we're
right
working on.
now.
I don't know when we're announcing that stuff. Andrea's here; she knows better than me.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
They just
about
tell me
that.
where to go.
That should be fun.
But good to catch up. We went. It's longer than it was supposed to be, but it's just happy to see, happy to tap in.
Good to see y'all again. It's been
we'll
a
get back
couple
going
weeks.
when you're back on the court. And
yeah, give y'all update. Next update.
I'm mad.
Should be hopefully the next show should be when I give you a clearer update of when I'm gonna play.
I'm mad because I think you're gonna win MVP again. I think you've missed out on 3 MVPs now.
I could have had 4.
Because two guys running in your legs, and it's nobody's fault. But you had my vote. You know what I forgot too? We said before season, when you win 10 games straight, we'll have you on the FanDuel show. You won 10 games straight. And I just fucking slipped my mind.
So I had to.
That was your word. He's like, yeah, I'll come
that?
on when I win like 10 games straight. I was like, all right.
I don't remember.
So we got to
saying
get
that.
you on. When you're back, when you're playing basketball.
All right. Tell Chandler I said him too.
I will tell him. All right. Well, that was the et cetera. We'll be back. So like you said, when he's healthier, he'll have a better update.